Never compare yourself to anyone. And it's easy to do. Always remember this. Everybody has gifts. Some people recognize their gifts early in life, and some recognize their gift or gifts later in life. But you never want to compare yourself to anybody. Because when you do that, and you look at Joe Blow or Joe Schmo or whoever, and you go, wow, they got a great gift. Or he's a great orator. Or he's good at this or she's good at that. At the end of the day, you need to focus on your gifts. You need to focus on what God blessed you with. And you need to do the work. What's the work? The inner work. You need to look in the mirror and find out, it's a metaphor, look in the mirror, find out who you are. Figure it out. Why am I here? Pray on it. What is my task? What am I supposed to do? What are my natural gifts and talents? What makes me happy when I work on this or when I do that? That's how you know. I believe it's like a singer, right? I'll use a person who's really good at singing. A lot of times they started when they're young. Probably singing in the bathroom or singing at the church. And family members would tell them, damn, you sound really good. And maybe that's all they do. Or majority of the day, they're always singing. And when they do that, it makes them feel happy. It makes them feel like an exciting feeling. It takes a lot of pressure off of them. But I've always liked to talk, to communicate. I like to hear speeches. I like to hear dialogue. Even when I was younger, I would listen to some preaching, right? I was raised in the church. So I've heard preachers preach, and I've heard a lot of dialogue. I like debates. I've seen a lot of debates. This is what I like to do. Whether I'm the best at it or not, this is what I love to do. That's a good way to find out what your gifts are. And if you're so busy focusing on other people and their gifts, you're not going to be able to recognize your gift, number one. Number two, you won't be able to have your gifts grow. And so you'll go through life thinking, I don't have any gifts. We're all blessed. There is not one person that's more blessed. There's not one person that's more blessed. Now, there are people who recognize the gifts early and they run with it and they make it better because they identified the gifts. You need to identify your gift. And then once you identify your gift, nurture it, work on it, build a bond with it, figuratively speaking. I really believe if you don't connect with your gifts, you don't recognize your gifts, this is how people become haters, trolls. Because all they can do, a hater and a troll, is to troll, is to hate, is to tear down what others have built. And they identify with that kind of assignment. And maybe by default, that's their gift, right? So you can have a positive gift or you can have a negative gift. And I believe this is how people become haters and racist. Because they be hating on other people because they see their light. They see how gifted they are. They see how talented they are. And all they can do is do what they can to take your light, to put it out. pour some water on your flame. And so I believe that's how they become haters. That's how racists, one of the ways racists become racist. I really believe it's not because they really hate other people or another race. It's because they hate something within those people that they don't have. They feel inadequate when they look at other people that are gifted because it makes them feel inadequate. Not because it makes them feel inadequate, because they feel inadequate, because they can't identify the gift that God has given them. If you can't find your gift, figure it out. Figure it out. You have gifts. But if you're so focused on other people and their gifts, and you hating on that, you're not going to find your gift, let alone develop your gift that God has given you. So in other words, you will squander your gift by default. I'll leave you with this. I am the darker brother. They send me to eat in the kitchen when the company comes, but I laugh and I eat well and grow strong. Tomorrow I'll sit at the table when company comes. Nobody will dare tell me eat in the kitchen then. Besides, they'll see how beautiful I am and be ashamed. I too am American. Langston Hughes. This is Mike Chevalier, keeping it simple and precise.